spent my whole damn life in the city. Anywhere I go, DC's coming with me. I spent my whole damn life in the city. I can go for broke, but the capital is in me. I spent my whole damn life in the city. Anywhere I go, DC's coming with me. I spent my whole damn life in the city. I can go for broke, but the capital is in me.
Welcome, everyone, to District Divided, a DC sports podcast. More specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. I am Amit. That is KDot. Today's episode, a very quick one. There won't be a comment mailbag because we're still doing an episode on Friday. There will be an afterpod there as well. But we want to quickly start. We're going to talk about Brandon Aiyuk. We're going to talk about Jayden Daniels. But first things first, KDot. We hit 1,000 subscribers. We officially did it. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank you all so much. KDot and I have been on this journey for about 2-3 years now at this point, but we just want to say thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you. KDot, floor is yours real quick, and then we'll do the rest of the intro here.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
man, it's great hitting 1,000, but you know, I'm just gonna say I'm disappointed because you motherfuckers could make us do better. There's no reason we shouldn't have 1 million subscribers, you sons of bitches. If you're sharing this shit the way you need to, spread the word, spread the gospel like Christianity. Like, spread the word. All right? I need you to be evangelists. Evangelists. The crusades are coming. The District Divided crusades are coming. And we need everyone to be converted, to understand, to know about the audio gold, to know about the gospel. It's Reverend KDot here and the A-Train doing them lives, baby. Come on, spread the word. 1 million subscribers. Here we come. Here we come.
Plain and simple. Share this shit. You heard the Reverend. That's all it's going to be. So why don't we go ahead and just get into the episode in that case, because we can't possibly top that. Like it, subscribe, etc. All right, cool. Brandon Aiyuk, Jayden Daniels. Here we are again. So let's quickly recap. We began with, they don't want me back, man. I swear. Mama! We do that. Okay, cool. Then they're at a shopping mall together. Are they in Tyson's? No. Jayden made it very clear. He is in California. They're in California. Then Ryan Clark goes on NFL Live. He's like, by the way, Jayden was with Brandon when we were filming. Well, behold, that episode comes out. He is there. And then TikTok's a thing, of course, as many of you know. And Brandon Aiyuk had... Oh, don't do that right now. And then Brandon Aiyuk had this... First off, I'm never on TikTok. I didn't realize how many images you can put back to back to back in just one post. There were like 30 of them. And number like 25 was this, if you have it, KDot. Yep. Okay. All of a sudden, I'm seeing us in the gun, split back. I'm looking at our defensive formation, and I'm going, okay, wait, what on earth is this? Why am I seeing this? So, KDot, the question is simple. This Brandon Aiyuk thing, we did an entire episode on should we trade for him. We've talked about it all through. Has this officially become a problem for you? Have we gone a little too far here?
No, I don't think we've done anything. But I will remember, I think I remember talking about how there were some things that were happening that might be a particular point where it could be an issue as far as the Jayden Daniels thing, as far as him not looking or coming out squeaky clean. And that's where and remember, even when I prefaced that, I was like, I don't think we're there. I don't think we're anywhere close to that. Like, we're still far away, and I don't think we will get there. We're here. We're here. Look, man, I don't try to get in the way of anybody trying to get their money. I want to help friends or family, whatever, go do your thing. But Jayden, goddamn son, like, you gotta let this dude, as kind as possible, leave me the fuck out of this. Because now we're getting to this territory in which, like, there are questions that are coming up that are like should never have to be asked, especially with how much praise we wanted to give Jayden Daniels this entire offseason of being a professional through all of it, right? You hear about all the shit that was happening as far as his agent bullshit, as far as what was happening when it came to the Topgolf situation, all this stuff. We constantly gave him praise on what he was, the consummate professional. He kept his fucking mouth shut, kept his nose clean, just doing what he needs to do, right? I'm sorry. I'm looking across the media landscape in Washington, and I'm like, okay, I see no one wants to really say the thing that needs to be said about this. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say it either. Why the fuck is anyone that's not a commander watching any sort of film that we have in practice? That to me it's inexcusable. Like, I don't get what explanation can be given to me or anyone that'll write that shit. Like, we've gone past a certain point. This is not okay. This is fuck the contract shit. Fuck maybe just from being silent, like your boy do your thing. Why are you showing him any practice film from us and what it is we're scheming? Why? Like, when we talk about all this all season, how he's building this relationship with Luke McCaffrey and how we love that. We saw all these dudes out in Oregon, right? Like working out and doing shit together. We hear about Luke McCaffrey, and every fucking morning they're in the same thing, the top of the fucking hip, blah, 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 right? You got a Terry McLaurin that's here. You got a Jahan Dotson that's here. How do you think they feel knowing that you're kind of buddying up to somebody who might take somebody's fucking job? And then you're showing him the fucking script. You're showing him what it is we're working on. It's going to be kept in-house. It's not okay. Now, I'm willing to give him a lot of fucking leeway. He's a goddamn rookie.
Yep.
Maybe he just don't know any fucking better, this, that, and the other. But youngin', you shape the fuck up. This ain't cool. This is not okay.
Yeah. I mean, so it's called District Divided, but I'm in total agreement with you here, bud. Like, this is the first, I don't know if I would necessarily call it a significant hiccup. Eventually, training camp's going to be public. Like, people can come, they can see everything, so you'll be able to see some stuff. That being said, KDot, I'm in total agreement with you here. So, yes, he's a rookie. Yes, he's probably excited. This is his best friend. And he's like, okay, like, look at this play. This is where you could do this, for example, or you could line up at X, you could line up at Z, wherever. However, I've got a problem with Brandon Aiyuk taking a photo of that and then sharing it. That, for me, is also a bridge too far. Does it make Aiyuk no, I don't think so. I think he's trying to get his money from San Francisco or create enough friction that he can move on and basically get the money this year versus next year, I think is his whole point. I think he wants to stay in San Francisco, but who knows? But if he starts leveraging our potential franchise quarterback as part of it, I got big, big problems. And for Jayden, I'll give him a pass on this one just because, like you said, he is a rookie. It's his best friend, whatever. But this has to be a teachable moment because up until now, it's been an awesome offseason. It's been nothing but football. This is technically football, which is funny. But this cannot happen. That's where I stand on this, KDot.
Yeah, I'm not going to go as far as to say he gets a pass. I'm saying that I'm giving him leeway in the sense of I don't think that this is a grand indictment of who he will be as a player or who he is as a man or anything like that. But sure enough, this goes in your goddamn file, son. Like this is something that I'm going to be able to refer back to and be like, yo, I'm wishing and hoping everything goes perfectly, right? Like, and I still got tons of faith that will be the case. But if there are any other hiccups or something, that fucking file comes right back down off that goddamn docket. And I'm like, this is a piece of evidence that might turn me in one way or another way, depending on how it is I feel about Jayden Daniels.
Okay.
This counts. This isn't a practice shot. This fucking counts. Like this count. It ain't a ball. It's a fucking strike, bud. Like this counts. There's got to be some. Like and the thing is, I know that probably the comment mailbag is probably going to come in on this video, and people go, "Man, you're being a little too much. You're being a little too overzealous or anything." I think that us as a whole have been trying to do everything we possibly can to give everybody a benefit of the doubt because we love our fan base is sort of in two camps right now, right? You camps that is pessimistic to the point of they can't believe or buy into anything. Right? You're not seeing any sort of positivity from them. They're still complaining about the fucking name. They think Dan Quinn was the wrong choice. They think Jayden Daniels was the wrong.
Got the gold pants.
But they're I love the gold pants. But there are some motherfuckers that are just, you're never going to be able to sign anything. All right. I'll put you to the side for a second, right? Then you got the other group, which is, I think we're probably more of this camp than anything, which is that, holy shit, we have things to be hopeful for.
Yeah.
Things look great. Holy shit, we can't be afraid of what had happened during the Dan Snyder era, which is a brand new day. And I think when we have those, there are rose-colored glasses that kind of get on, and we try to shine everything into something positive or benefited out. They've earned this from us. They've done this, they've done that, whatever. We don't want to make a big stink out of it because maybe if we make a big stink out of it, it'll become a big stink when it doesn't need to be a big stink. I will pride ourselves on this pod. Yeah, we can be loud. Yeah, we can be rash. Yeah, we can have co-hosts that like to do coke. We can do all those things.
Okay.
But we also, as much as we are fans, I think that we have done a fairly good job as a pod as a whole of being as objective as humanly possible when it comes to this fucking team. I think we've done a good job at that.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of people.
Sure.
And part of that objectivity is to call out some bullshit when you see it. And this
And so my point more about the past is like, okay, he, to me, has not earned anything from the organization. He's a rookie that's been here for 2 months, right? That's essentially what this is. But I think this is a teachable moment, a live and learn. I'm not throwing this in a file unless he does it again. Then all of a sudden, yeah, that's absolutely in the file. But this is a moment where you speak to him. If you're Dan Quinn, if you're I don't know, Cliff, if you're Adam Peter, whomever, right? Even Josh Harris, like whomever speaks to him and goes, yo, I get it. You're excited. You want us to make this move. We've talked about this move in the past. It's not happening. Or yeah, we're trying to make it happen. However, do not do this. I think it's just, you talk to him, you make sure he doesn't do it again. And so long as he doesn't do it again, I'm good. But this is a teachable moment for him, not something that for me, I'm going as far as saying this is in his file. Like, I don't think that he meant to be problematic with it. I think it was an innocent moment where I agree he shouldn't have done it. Okay. I agree he should not have done it. But ultimately, thankfully, it was just one screenshot of a play, and we'll move forward. That's where I'm at.
No, I don't think it's not. This is not me saying cut Jayden nails.
No, I understand that. I understand it. But this idea that it's in a file, I think is too far, but understood.
Yeah, fuck that. You're a professional now. Like, this is not.
And this is the teachable moment to me.
No doubt. No. How it is you deal
this is
with
not
this.
College. Yeah.
Bro, how it is you deal with this, cool. I do think that this lends itself to a conversation, maybe a series of conversations on the ways you maybe need to handle. Get that. But sure enough, if something else comes up, I'm going to look at this as one example of potentially something. I'm hoping I never have to think about this thing again. I'm hoping it's over. I'm hoping that everything that needs to happen beyond this is happening behind the scenes. Maybe he talks to his teammates, maybe he talks to the coaches, and it's done. We will never hear mum about this again for as long as we fucking live, right?
Yeah.
And maybe Aiyuk's on the team, maybe he's not. Don't give a fuck. But this right here has to be a grand hold up stop sign. Not okay. Not okay. This is this has the ability to create a lot of situations. I talked about when it came to what your teammates might feel for you politicking for a guy to come in and take somebody's job potentially, right? We talk about dollars and cents. You might be getting involved with somebody else's fucking dollars and cents. Jahan Dotson probably being the number one person as far as looking at the situation, being like, I don't necessarily want Aiyuk on this fucking team. I think I'm the guy, right? So, like, I'm just saying, as far as what that endears you to your teammates, you're too early in to have that fucking conversation, people, man. And you've brought yourself on being probably the least problematic of the guys, right? You're the quiet dude. You're the I lead by example. I'm the stoic, quiet, confident type, right? And especially if he ain't a wordy motherfucker. If he just likes to let shit ride, boy, you gotta be watching what you do. You gotta be watching what you do, because those actions speak a lot of you can't spend the shit.
Listen, completely agree. And from the maturity he's shown so far.
Wouldn't happen with JJ. No, I'm joking. All
right, cool. All right. All right. Basically, the kid's mature, right? He's shown a lot of maturity so far. I think this is a slip up of a moment. We'll move forward from it. I do agree that it's probably not a great look if you're a wide receiver on the team and you're going, okay, well, he's very, very buddy with this guy. I could see a situation where all these guys who think they are the best, that's what you want from these wide receivers, go, I'm not a big fan of this. But KDot, that would go all the way back to the very beginning, the very first phone call that we see on TikTok, right? Between Aiyuk and Jayden. Then it goes to the pivot. He's hanging out with him again. Now it's this, right? So has it always been a problem for you? from the perspective of the dollars and cents that you were referring to, or is it just now a problem because it was the play that was shown?
The reason that I made the statement weeks ago that we're in a territory where something could be a problem. So it's me being hypersensitive and aware of the situation at hand and knowing that like no one's done anything wrong. But sure enough, it looks like you guys are in a really great territory where something could go bad. And now I'm seeing the first ripple effect. The other thing that I haven't heard anybody mention, and maybe I need to get schooled on this, where the fuck is the line as far as tampering goes? Like, where does that end up? Like, if the motherfuckers, if they're talking and chatting about the fucking playbook, and they're talking about ways in which to potentially scheme to get him to Washington, because we know they're talking about it, then like, are we on potentially the hook of fucking losing draft picks? Like,
no, that I would be pretty surprised by that. Okay, no, it's a fair conversation.
I'm just asking where the line is, because like, to me, it's like we're going down that road, right? It's like you got the girlfriend. Yeah, it's just my male best friend. I ain't worried about. And you're like, all right, it's cool. And they got to dinner together, right? And you see the photo on Instagram, and they're a little hugged up, and you're like, you know, I'm secure in my masculinity. It's all right. It's whatever. Then a few months later, well, yeah, I fucked him. What the fuck?
This is a slightly different situation. I think in the context of tampering, it would be like Adam Peters goes, "Hey, do not sign anything with San Francisco. We got you on a 4-year 120 at the end of this season." I think that all of a sudden is tampering.
But I thought players can't talk about the shit. Am I just mistaken? That
I think it's contractual. I think it's contractual stuff. I don't know that
it's not contract. It's just contract.
As far as I know, because that legitimately affects whether somebody goes somewhere or not, right? So, like, if the Falcons were able to talk contract with Kirk before free agency began, right? Then it's already more or less decided that he's going to go there because he can give a verbal agreement beforehand. That's an example of tampering.
But you have to talk about dollars and cents?
I think so. I mean, that's ultimately what you're going to verbally agree to.
So if the Falcons met with Kirk Cousins and be like, yeah, we know what the market's like. We're going to take good care of you. Just make sure you buy that house in Atlanta. No dollars and cents. Is that not tampering? Before the period opens up?
I wouldn't.
While he's a member of another team?
I think
that does not feel collusion.
I see what you're saying. I think you're not supposed to talk straight up, but I think ultimately it's the dollars and cents that matter the most. I think if you were to just say that in passing, it's whatever, but you don't actually know what the
tampering as a whole is pretty stupid, right? Because we know
because it's impossible. Like, yeah, you take any of these guys to court, it's going to be next to impossible. Yeah, everyone knows everybody.
Well, that's the other thing. Well, my point is that this doesn't go to court. This is the commissioner. This is the commissioner who's by himself, kind of makes decisions based on what it is he feels, right? So, like, if there's smoke, there's fire. If we get to a situation where motherfuckers are showing on their personal TikToks playbooks and shit of another opposing team, that doesn't feel a little collusion-y?
You know, someone we could ask is Bobby Wagner. I don't know if you saw, but he was shadowing the commissioner last year.
Oh yeah, because he's trying to. Yeah, I mean, he's about to be.
Let's ask Bobby. We'll just get Bobby on the pod and we'll figure this whole thing out. Hey, Bobby, did we tampering right now? Like, what's going on? What's going on?
Bobby probably said, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah,
like disconnection.
Shut this down. How about that? Yeah.
That's the thing. I'd love to hear like I can't imagine a Bobby Wagner looks at this and like he's completely cool with it or it's chill.
Which
like,
actually lends itself, in my opinion, to thank goodness we brought in a number of veteran leaders. Right. So not only is it going to be the coaching staff, not only is it going to be the first time general manager who's going, what the hell is going on over here? But it'll also be the veteran leaders going, hey, buddy, we know you're tight with this guy. That's not how it flies in the pros. To your point, it's no longer college. This is a grow up moment. You stay with us, right? And that'll figure itself out. You can keep hoping he comes here, but let our general manager take care of that. Let finance guys take care of that. Okay, but you can't do that. You cannot show him what we're doing.
We're just getting to a point where it's like, and I never loved this whole slippery slope deal as far as like what will become a quote unquote media narrative based on something. I think we can look at everything and try to put it in context. But what I say about the file is that I don't think anybody's going to forget this. And come week 3 of the season, or whatever, if there's a or we see that him and Jahan Dotson have something on the sideline, there's a disagreement here or this, that, and the other. Like, I'm just saying is like there's one thing if there's none of this. If there's none of this. If there's none of this Aiyuk situation as far as this offseason or whatever, there's none of it. There's no narrative. There's nothing anyone can hold on to for anything. But now that we have it, and we've had an entire offseason where we've talked more on this pod about fucking Brandon Aiyuk than the OTAs, than fucking Dan Quinn's shirt, than fucking all, like, and I don't blame us for doing it because it's been the story. Yeah. And the thing is, like, at the end of the day, like, now there is just fuel to something that now your brain is going to go different ways, and they might try to contextualize other things in the future. I just think that we're getting to a point now where it's like, I look at Brandon Aiyuk and I'm like, dude, I get you doing what you're doing, right? But your friend, your best friend, is a rookie quarterback trying to make it in this league.
Oh, yeah. Never mind how I feel about him posting it from that perspective.
Well, let me ask you this.
From that perspective, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Does this change your want or desire to have Brandon Aiyuk?
No, it doesn't. But this is also going to be a situation where if he does, okay, here you go. To your point, right? If something else happens, I'm going to remember this type thing for Jayden.
Right.
This is what I have with Brandon. If he does one more thing, then I'm like, all right, I'm good. But he's a pro. He's been a pro for 4 or 5 years, and he's actively fucking like his best friend. Like, this isn't good because we're talking about it. You know, the organization's talking about it. This is not the old organization. This is the new organization. You know, they're talking about it with Jayden. So he got his boy in trouble, right? That is what happened. So yeah, I think it's slightly different with Brandon versus Jayden here.
I think when you asked me, and I went on this long thing about the way that I prefaced it or anything, you were asking me, like, what about this necessarily has changed or whatever. Once again, I've been at the ready for it, right?
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, this is weird territory. The actual screenshot of what looks to be a login account that Jayden Daniels has access to, and you're sharing it with somebody on the other team. Maybe this happens across the league. I don't know. But what I would tell you is that I haven't heard about it.
I'd be surprised. I would be very surprised.
I haven't heard about it, which means that if people are doing it to keep the fucking mouth shut about it, right? So it's like the Jayden thing of it all. It's your boy. I get it. You not trying to step in the way of your boy and your money, right? But when I look at quarterback, and we look at the quarterback position, we look at leadership. Leadership means sometimes having an uncomfortable conversation with somebody. Leadership means being able to check people when they step out of line or they do something wrong. This screenshot I took after scrolling through all those fucking photos on TikTok to download it directly from the source. It's still up there. Jayden, I'm sure he hadn't had a conversation telling him to take it down. I guess it is what it is at this point, right?
Right.
But
the screen grabs out
else, anything else that happens to me is an indictment on whether or not what conversation Jayden Daniels is comfortable or not comfortable with having. And that, in my opinion, kind of, to some degree, does start to impact the way I think about you from a leadership standpoint. Okay. The way I think about you from your communication standpoint. The way I think about this organization, this team talking about communication being key. That's not good to me.
Okay. No, I think it's valid and fair to have that current space and take right now. For me, I think it is a unique circumstance. It's also July 9th. Like, I imagine this gets nipped in the bud. I would like to think it gets nipped in the bud.
Have you ever seen this before?
No, I haven't.
Anything like it?
No. I have not, just to be clear. This feels unprecedented.
Right?
Even when we were talking about the Brandon Aiyuk trade, it felt unprecedented. We've got this brand new organization, but it just so happens that the rookie quarterback and this arguably top 10 to 12 wide receiver could be available for trade and they're best buddies. So, like, this entire thing, KDot, is completely unprecedented. Now, this is also probably one of the first opportunities for something like this to occur, right? Just because of how crazy it is. But I'm not a fan. Just to be clear, I'm not a fan of it, but I also think that this will get nipped in the bud pretty quickly. I think this is a teachable moment. I think we should be okay. My final question to you, KDot, before we wrap this up is, do you think this is the last bit of the saga, or do you think Brandon does something else or Jayden does something?
I definitely don't think it's over from Brandon's standpoint, but I don't know of Jayden's involvement in it. or what Brandon's doing as far as has done. Do I think this is the last time that we'll talk about it? No. And that to me is extremely concerning.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, heck, maybe something happens between now and Friday and we're talking about it some more. In which case, by the way, let me just say now, July 9th, I'd probably be off the whole trade for Aiyuk thing, because then I go, screw it, man. Like what we have going right now is perfectly good. Let's just close the door on that thing, because this is starting to get too much. And I think, to your point, teammates, certainly wide receivers, would agree on that, let alone veteran leadership who have been brought here to establish an identity and culture, because this cannot be the identity and culture, right? Can't be. So anyway, we'll see.
I posit this just for a second.
Sure.
If I'm at a point where I had already been worried about this particular gray area that we were in.
Right.
If the team hadn't talked to Jayden at all, about what was happening or what it is, hey, be mindful, be this, be that, or whatever, right? I'm starting to question how much they believe in the communication thing a little bit. If they have talked to Jayden and this still happened, I'm really curious about their friendship. I'm also very curious about what Jayden's listening to or not listening to. I'm just saying there are ways in which my mind is going, which maybe in the comment mailbag tell me to just shut the fuck up, stop thinking. Maybe that's what it is it feels as though there's some doors that are opening that I wish the fuck they weren't ever fucking approached.
What I ultimately think happened here, KDot, if I were to just guess, it's not like we know, is that I do believe they talked to him and said, be mindful, stuff like that. It's like going on the pivot, fine, whatever. You can hang with the guy. It's the off season. You're not due back here until whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Fine. You could do that. What I'm also willing to bet happened was these two got excited, and frankly, Jayden should not have opened up that entire, whatever he used to log into whatever site to be able to pull all the plays. That should not have happened. And he made a mistake. That is a mistake. That is an objective mistake.
So mistake after. So you think the team talked to him and he still made that mistake?
I think it's possible. He's young, and I'm willing to bet that he wasn't expecting Brandon to post that. I'm pretty sure he was surprised.
I don't care about the posting.
Correct.
I care that if they had talked to him, told him to be mindful, and he still opened that up and did it. What it means to me is that, like, then you're at a point where, well, I just hope I don't get caught doing the thing.
No, I don't even know that it would be that. I don't think that he thought what he did was wrong because he didn't think it was going to be online.
What?
That's where I'm at. So, like, I think that he wasn't thinking at all. It was an oversight. I don't think he was thinking at all about Brandon taking a photo of this and putting it on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or wherever.
Do y'all have plays in soccer? They're plays, right?
They're general concepts and ideas, yeah.
You never played professionally, but you would know not to give someone access to what it is that your team is doing.
Not to a potential rival. I don't want them to know that they're going, like, we plan on attacking the left side a lot more than the right.
Even if they were your friend.
Going to figure that out pretty quick. Correct. But they're also going to figure it out pretty quickly in the flow of the game. This is unique.
How do you not know it's the wrong thing to do unless you're fucking dumb? And I'm not calling him dumb.
I think it was just a naive moment. I sincerely just think
that's
it was a naive
dumb. Like, it's not. I don't think it's not. I think that's dumb. He's 20-something years old. I get brains not fully developed until you're 26, but that's some dumb shit. That's dumb. That's just dumb. You can't, like, high school level. You're the fucking quarterback. You're not sharing.
I agree. It was dumb. I agree. It was naive. I'm agreeing with both those things. Okay.
I understand. We want to be caught. Jayden, we'd love to have you on the pod, man. I love you, bro. I love you, dude. You're awesome. But goddamn, son.
We're in agreement he shouldn't have done it. And we'll see what comes of it. But we figured it was an important enough topic that was taking social media by storm that we would at least check in with you guys and let you know where we stand on the whole thing. So please add to the comment mailbag your thoughts on this whole thing. You can even do a blame pie if you want to, percentage of blame on these guys, or like how much accountability does Jayden have in this? honestly love to hear from everybody. And I think we'll get a variety of answers here.
Come from my fucking head if you guys think I'm being some little bitch about this, please.
But you can come from mine too and just be like, hey, I don't think you're going hard enough, Amit. I think you've got rose-tinted glasses on. It's possible.
The only thing I'm concerned about is
I think it's July, so it's okay.
I don't want to hear too much from that pessimistic group of fan base.
We got a lot of those. Okay.
But that's the only thing I'm like walking this line. Like, I don't really want to hear from you guys from this.
We got a lot of those.
It's coming.
Quick little sneak preview of the next episode, because it is going to be before training camp as well. So KDot and I are going to be figuring out which, we're calling it a side piece team, but we're figuring it out, like which team we are choosing. It'll only be one in the NFL based on a certain criteria that we believe can do well this upcoming season. We're still figuring out the criteria. Heads up for you guys. Curious to hear which teams you guys do. Don't do it in this comment mailbag. Do it in the one on Friday. Okay? Because it'll be more fun when we reveal it and then you reveal yours as well. And then we can all have a rooting interest in one team, like a mild rooting interest just for fun. As the season progresses, we can all give each other shit for it. So it should be a fun communal activity. But this was the show. This was District Divided, a DC sports podcast. More specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. Thank you guys for listening to this special episode of District Divided. And thank you again for putting us at 1,000 subscribers. On to the next milestone. Let's get to 2.
A million!
To KDot's point, I'm Amit. That is KDot. If you like the video, please, like it. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Comment as you always do. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. And KDot,
share it!
That's perfect. All right. We will see you guys Friday at 2 p.m. Take it easy.
Bye, everybody.
In DC, we're just hoping that you listen.